Thanks for joining me today for another episode of White Woman in Distress. This podcast is about raising awareness for missing kids, teens, and adults. My goal is to help spread the word and find those who are missing. We need to come together as a community to find these people. We need to stop ignoring what we see and start looking out for each other. I understand that you want to stay safe, but it's important to speak up when you notice something's wrong. If someone you loved was missing, you would want people to help. People who think, this could never happen to me, need to understand it can happen to anyone. Every day, children, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, aunts, and uncles go missing. You don't have to put yourself at risk. You can always call tips in anonymously. Our goal should be to bring everyone home safely. Everyone deserves to know what happened, and families deserve closure. Viewer discretion is advised. This content may discuss violence, sexual assault, and murder, which may be distressing to some. Listener discretion is advised. Today, we're going to be diving into the mysterious disappearance of Debora Sue Lowe from Pompano Beach, Florida. This case dates back to February 29th, 1972, and still remains unsolved to this day. Debora Sue Lowe, was also known as Debbie, was last seen walking to Richards Middle School in Pompano Beach, Florida between 7:30 and 8:30 a.m. On February 29th, 1972, she was just 13 years old at the time, and she had recently moved to Florida with her family from West Virginia. On that fateful morning, Debbie was wearing a yellow top, black pants with rose-colored stripes, and a tan poncho. She also had a chipped front tooth and a small scar on her left leg. Debbie's personal belongings, including her school books, were later found in a trash can that were close to her home. Initially, authorities thought Debbie had run away from home, possibly going back to West Virginia. This assumption was based on the recent move and the fact that none of her personal belongings were taken. However, her family strongly believed that she had been abducted. They pointed out that Debbie had no history of running away and left all of her belongings behind, which was uncharacteristic for someone planning to run away. The case took a darker turn when serial killer Gerard John Schaefer Jr. was linked to Debbie's disappearance. Schaefer was a former police deputy. He was also known for his brutal crimes against young women and girls in the late 1960s and early 1970s. He had a connection to Debbie's family, having worked for her father, and he even visited their home. Schaefer was connected to 2 murders, but is suspected of many more, including Debbie's case. He was murdered in prison in 1995, leaving many questions unanswered. Debbie's family has faced immense pain and suffering due to her disappearance. Her father died of a heart attack just 4 years after she went missing, and her mother passed away in 1995. Despite these losses, her family remains hopeful and they continue to search for answers and closure. They deserve to know what happened to Debbie and find peace after decades of uncertainty. Debbie's case highlights the importance of thorough investigations and the dangers of prematurely labeling missing children as runaways. Every missing child case deserves immediate and thorough attention regardless of the circumstances. Runaways, like any other missing children, could be in grave danger and need to be found promptly. The community's response to Debbie's disappearance has been one of support and determination. Over the years, there have been various search efforts and public awareness campaigns aimed at keeping her case in the public eye. Despite the passage of time, the hope for answers remains strong. I have a few thoughts on the situation, considering I think that the police officers that were dealing with her case should have been fired, only because they mislabeled the case. That also meant that they didn't start searching for her on time, that there was a wait period, and I don't like that we can't find the answers that we're looking for this case. I really would have liked to ask Gerard some questions, and since he died in prison and he never left a note saying exactly how many victims that he had or how many women he had kidnapped, abducted, then it's going to be hard to say who his victims were and who his victims weren't. We have to do better. We need to pay attention and support each other. We really need to stop fighting each other and come together, because we have to make sure that our community is safe for our children to grow up in. The sad thing is we really thought that the greatest threat was our military fighting in wars, when in reality, it's not just that. It's right here. Like, our own neighborhoods are now having instances of abductions, kidnappings, assaults, and we really need to step up our game as a community because we have to. Like, we just have to. And I believe that there's somebody out there that can come forward with information on Debora Sue Lowe's case. And it may not be significant, but it may actually break the case open and may help bring to light some of the questions that her family has been answering for decades. I mean, she may also have been seen by anybody driving around the area or anything, really. I think that she wasn't a runaway, but because she was treated as such that they didn't actually look for her like they should have, and they may have missed valuable evidence, and that's sad that her case just got mislabeled because, oh, they just moved, it's clearly. No, you still need to look for those kids. You still need to find answers for that family. You still need to find them, even if they are runaways, and ask them what's going on. Because there's a reason that they ran away. It wasn't just because they could, right? But thanks for joining me today. If you have any information regarding the disappearance of Debora Sue Lowe, please contact Pompano Beach Police Department at 954-786-4200 or the Broward County Sheriff's Office at 954-765-4321. Your information, no matter how small, could be crucial in solving this case and bringing closure to Debbie's family. Thank you for listening to this episode of White Woman in Distress. Remember to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on social media for updates on this and other cases. Together we can bring justice and closure to these tragic stories. Until next time, stay safe and vigilant. If you see something, say something and do something. Thank you.